Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today is a really exciting one. I've got my NOBLE M12 GTO3R back after being away for a few months at DTB Motorsport, where Dave has done a fantastic job doing a full engine rebuild. Really excited and really happy with this car now. So I actually had big end bearing failure in this car on track at Bedford Autodrome back in June a few months ago, and I'll link a video in the description to a bit more detail about that. But today's video is really about what I've had done to this car during that rebuild process, taking it out for the first time on the road, telling you how it is. But then I also actually booked this car onto a track day 3 days after picking it up at Blyton Park. So this video will also include me going to the track day, telling you what it's like and showing you what it's like on track and telling you about my experience of it. So really excited to be sharing this with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Next you'll see me in the car out on the roads and then at track later on. So I've just got dropped off at Mallory Park where DTB Motorsport is. And walking around the corner here, probably see more NOBLE M12s than you'll see anywhere else. There's always a good few here. And here we go, there's a few. Dave's always got a few in. Here's one I recognise as well. And here she is, here's mine. And looks like she's been freshly washed. Looking good. So, first drive in the sun for the NOBLE, on the way back from DTB Motorsport, having picked it up. It's been with Dave there for a few months getting a whole host of work done. So I'm just going to tell you quickly in this video, firstly why it went there in the first place, what went wrong with it, just briefly, what I've had done to it roughly, and a quick first thought about how it drives now. I will do a full proper review on this when I've had a chance to drive it a bit more. Probably in better conditions because it's been quite wet, lots of leaves on the road, etc. I can't really exploit the full potential of this car in these conditions. So I was on track in Bedford where it all started in, I think, late June, and I got big end bearing failure, so catastrophic failure of the engine basically as I was going around the track. I got it trailered to DTB Motorsport. Dave had a look, took the engine apart and basically found it was big end failure. It looked like oil starvation. So absolutely gutted I was. You know, the engine could have been rebuilt. I decided on balance it's, you know, 1,500 quid to get the engine out and back in again. It could be, you know, a couple of thousand at least to rebuild depending on what the damage was and what parts were needed. And so I looked into other options. Now, it did come to light that there might be an old M15 engine. So after the M12, Lee Noble started designing the M15. That never went into production, but they did make several engines. Quite a few, was it 20 or 100? People who know better might be able to correct me on that. But it was fundamentally the same twin turbo Ford Duratec V6 3 litre, but it had different timing, similar to that in the M400, I believe, stiffer valve springs, a different cam profile, forged pistons, which on this engine are actually really expensive, and a couple of other nice bits as well. So I managed to find one of these engines that had, I think now there are only 2 left that aren't in a car. So this was the third last engine that hadn't gone into a car, so totally new engine, and I decided to buy that and have Dave fit that at DTB Motorsports. I had been thinking about upgrading the turbos. This was still on the original turbos. They had been rebuilt, but the GT25 turbos, I'd been debating upgrading sometime in the future to slightly better, more modern turbos, more efficient, a bit more power. So this obviously seemed like a good time to do that as well. So I also upgraded the turbos, GT25 RSs, I think, ball bearing turbos, so more modern, more efficient, more power. Given that I then had the forged parts in the engine, the new engine, etc., it seemed like the time to do it. Replaced clutch plates, release bearing. I had also got knocking on the suspension, the dampers, those got sent off to ProTech for a rebuild. It looks like they've done those for free, which was good of them. No knocking, it's so great. I had this constant knocking from the front and it got worse and worse, and I hadn't realised how bad it had got. So another job that I'd been meaning to do. I also had a brake judder. I'd skimmed the discs previously. The rear one one of them was in particular quite bad. It came back after not that many hundreds or a couple thousands of miles, and so clearly it seemed like either a hub issue, run out on the hub, or just a warped back disc. So I've got the discs replaced. It was a warped disc as well. So, you know, all of that done and various kind of ancillary parts. So what are we looking at now? It also got remapped as well. So that new engine, forged parts, new turbos, associated parts there, and a remap. And it was fairly conservatively remapped by Darren, who does these engines a lot. And he tends to map them in a very linear and progressive way, rather than having a ton of boost and torque in the middle. So for me and my driving skills, that's preferable. Less big torque spike in this car, you know, only just over a ton, rear wheel drive, no traction control. Personally, I don't want huge spikes of torque. Having said that, so this car previously was still running good power. It was just under 430 horsepower and made that quite near the top end, 6,500 or so. And the torque was fairly limited, deliberately so by the map, at about 360 pound-foot of torque, so still significant. This one is now running a shade over 500 horsepower and 460 odd pound-foot of torque, so massively more torque and power, really. And wow, it's crazy. This pulls like an absolute train. You know, you have to have your wits about you, and if it's not a perfectly dry road, obviously you're going to spin up. It's got a slip diff, of course, but you will spin up quite easily. This morning I hit a damp bit of road on a dual carriageway. It wasn't going particularly fast, but it spun up a fair bit in fourth gear. So, you know, you can spin the wheels at quite high speeds in this car. But it's epic, it feels brilliant, it's riding brilliantly. I forgot how good these cars are. The ride is so supple. I mean, I have it set fairly stiffly, that's just where I like it. But, you know, it's really compliant. The steering is brilliant, the way it goes around corners. I'd forgotten how good these cars are. I missed it so much, to be honest. Incredibly pleased to have this back. I probably won't get a chance to drive it very hard before the next spring, really, in some better weather. The roads are just covered in all kinds of stuff around here, and not great for this kind of car, but I mean, it's epic performance now. I mean, I don't know how quick this would be. I guess if you're a skilled driver with good tyres, you might get it to 3 seconds or so to 60. That's kind of irrelevant for a car like this. I'd be really interested to know a kind of 0 to 100 time. This pulls crazily hard. It is really quick at like motorway speed acceleration, insane. Other things I've noticed with these slightly larger turbos, they do make quite a different noise on the blow-off, the wastegate. It's a much sharper, harsher noise, so even more turbo noise. Otherwise it sounds fairly similar, I suppose. Those turbo wastegate noises are superb. Yeah, you have to hang on. I mean, obviously I'm not using anywhere near full power here. But yeah, it's a quick car now, like really quick. Still going carefully because I have bed in the brakes, but I'm just taking it a bit easy on them for the first couple of 100 miles. Wow, yeah, it's quick. Really quick, scary quick for someone of my skills. You want to, when you plant your foot, you want to be going straight, or on a dry road at least. You've got to be careful with this car. It will certainly bite you. But so much fun, I mean, ludicrously fast. But it's the way it handles it. I mean, it feels fine in this chassis. Few things can corner like this on a British B road. But really looking forward to being able to give you a proper review of what it's like to live with a 500 horsepower Noble in a few months' time. Really interested to hear your thoughts. Have I taken this a bit far and gone too much with 500 horsepower in this kind of car? Yes or no? Let me know. So I've had the Noble back about 3 days now, and probably a bit stupidly, I've come to Blyton Park for a private track day. You can see the Noble behind me. We're at lunchtime. I've made it so far. The Noble has been performing brilliantly. The engine was already good to go, so I didn't have to worry about running that in. New brakes, etc. I'd done a couple of 100 miles on it before taking it here, so they were all bedded in and everything, and it's been brilliant fun. It's really quite a weapon now. Quite wet this morning, so sliding around everywhere, to be honest. A bit twitchy, but it's dried off and it's great fun. The Noble's performing brilliantly, as I say. Absolutely love it. Still getting used to it. Definitely a lot more torque and a lot more power. This isn't the quickest of tracks, so perhaps not the playing to the Noble's strengths, but still great fun getting to know the car. So I'm going to go back out and have a bit more fun. Oh, it rips through those gears. Really nice. Oh yeah, it's quite squirrely around there under braking for my skills. Feels really twitchy, but you know, controlled sliding out of corners, really reassuring feedback that you get. Compliant over those bumps. Bit of a lock up there. I always brake too early for that. Real loud chirp on the blow off from these turbos now. Much more than the old turbos. We're running very low on fuel. Although it seems to change quite a lot as we're cornering. Had a good lot of laps in the Noble. Great little track this actually, Blyton. It's very small, but managed to get a lot of laps in. Been out in a McLaren 670S, an Alpha 4C. Had a great day, lots of good people, and I'm going to call it a day because I'm out of fuel. But the Noble has performed flawlessly. Oil temperatures were fine, got to about 120, cooled down for a couple of laps. Don't like to let it get too hot, but it's just kept going all day. I've only do a few laps at a time, to be honest. In kind of 15-minute stints at most, just because of my concentration, to be honest. But yeah, it's done really well, really pleased with it. Brakes were good, suspension's good. I kept it fairly soft. I didn't want to be sliding around when it was wet even more than I was. Definitely worthwhile upgrades. 500 horsepower, definitely noticeable now, and also the mid-range torque, 560, those 460, sorry, pound-foot. Those blow-off chirps on these turbos are quite different from the old turbos. You know, when you're flooring at high revs, it's a lot more of a chirp than a whoosh. Really quite noticeable. People on the track said watching them from the track, said they heard it quite loudly as I went round. Also apparently spits quite a lot of flames, which I hadn't realised, I have to say. But yeah, it's performed brilliantly. I love it. So pleased to have it back. And I look forward to lots more driving and track days, but really good to be able to test it out here. It really is the limits of my ability, I think, that held the car back more than anything. Great day, and it'll be back soon. So thanks very much for watching. See you soon.